friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do my October updates video, show you what's going on in my collection, the good, the bad, anything really exciting or noteworthy. So I'm going to be doing that today. If you are new here and you don't know me already, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet, so if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, hello, welcome back. I hope you enjoy seeing what's going on in my collection. Let's get started. So I suppose we could start in the living room first. As you can see, all my grow lights are on because it is absolutely dismal out this morning. And so my plants need light and they're not getting it from the sun. Which, I mean, you don't have to do this. I'm just like, why not? And I like using them in my home instead of like the ceiling lights because these are a terrible like, and these look nice. So here's how things are doing. I feel like this corner has gotten very, very full. I have rearranged a bit recently. And I put the anthurium that was there somewhere else because it was getting quite big. I wanted to put the variegated monstera back in front of the grow light, so hopefully it can continue growing some really big leaves because I'm loving these sort of big leaves that were there before when it was by a grow light. And then since it's grown a bit smaller, which is fine. My poly, it's fine here. I mostly put it here because I couldn't figure out where else to put it after doing my shelves. It just wasn't working. And same with the fry deck, which is a little bit sad. So you can see it's got some fading leaves in there, but at the same time it's pushing out new growth, so I cannot complain. I've got it staked up actually, because if I don't, it is like so incredibly floppy that it just looks very sad. So that's that little corner. I've put my calathea here, so it's getting grow light from the Sansi bulbs. And yeah, it's just, this lighting is so weird. I'm not used to shooting with just my grow lights as lights, but here we are. This is what I can do today because the light outside is subpar. But I'm continuing to use the sort of cup method from the Jungle Haven on my moss poles, and they seem to really be liking it. I think I watered this one yesterday and it's still quite damp, so I'm not going to water again for a couple of days. Down here, I've taken a lot of plants actually out of my acclimation box. I've retired that for the time being. If you are on my Instagram, you might have seen a story. So I've got my Syngonium White Narrow here, and this Anthurium, what is this, the Silver Blush Forgetii hybrid. So they're out and in the real world, and I think they're doing okay. I really hope they are. I think they look gorgeous, so it's fine, I guess. IKEA cabinet wise, I mean, I sold the Escaletta that was up there. I've recently chopped my variegated string of hearts. It is now in 2, and I'm propping those to eventually go back into the main one so it can be a nice thick plant. But I chopped them essentially in half so I could put more back there. Cleo, are you gonna continue running around like a mad woman this morning? Yeah? You hunting my pen? She's hunting my pen under the ottoman. Cleo, you silly goose. Going inside of the cabinet. I've done a bit of rearranging in here as well. Nothing too major, just basic shifting of things. Putting more things into these self-watering pots that I'm testing out. And honestly, my alocasias seem to be freaking loving them. Like, look at this new leaf on my dragon scale. Do you see that? Like, how beautiful is that? And on my black velvet, this huge leaf just popped out. Like, oh my god, it's the biggest leaf on this plant so far. It's amazing. And my Regal Shield just popped this one out. The 3 of them popped out leaves at the same time, which was amazing. Ooh, my Officinalis is growing a bit of a runner. Going along there. Oh, my Philodendron Barandi. So I chopped it because it reached the top of the pole. and then it's put out like probably one of its largest leaves yet. Like, this was the leaf prior, and another big leaf. So I think it's doing well, and hopefully I'll be able to put the other one back in and maybe fill out this pole a little bit more because it is looking a little bit bare. Oh, the sad news is my tricolor. I'm not sure what happened, but it lost both of its leaves. I have potted it up in soil. You can't see any new roots yet. I only did this last week, but it had tons of roots, and it did lose both of its leaves, but it does have that new shoot. I think Scindapsus just tend to be quite sensitive in my care when it comes to going from propagation to substrate, whether it be pond or soil or whatever. So I'm just dealing with those consequences right now, which isn't ideal, but it's fine, and it'll grow soon, I'm sure of it. Oh, also, if you've got any questions about this white stuff on the top of my plants, it's actually diatomaceous earth, which I'm using to combat the fungus gnats, along with the yellow sticky traps and occasional watering with mosquito bits. So all of the plants I have in soil have diatomaceous earth on top of them in order to hopefully destroy the gnats. And I can make a video on that down the line, but yeah, I just have a bunch of it, so I figured I may as well actually use it. Down at the bottom, again, things are looking pretty busy in here. The was it fishbone cactus that Claire gave me is growing pretty well. It's got quite a lot of new growth. This one looks like it's got like aerial roots coming out of it. Can you see that? It's got like aerial roots. Huh. How odd. I've never seen that. I'll have to ask Claire about that, because they're not spikes, they're definitely aerial roots. But it's growing really well in the cabinet, which I was surprised about. But oh my goodness, this. So this is the strawberry milk that I got for my birthday. And oh my goodness, look at the pink on those leaves. Sorry, my hands are really shaky. They're always really shaky, but like, look at the pink. It's like like the red spot I have, or pink splash. It's like what I wish that was, and this is just so much better. Look at that, like, look at those pink spots. It's insane. And it was a little bit too close to the grow light before, so it was getting a bit burnt. You can see on the leaf below, it's a little bit crispy on it, but I just moved it slightly further away from the grow light, and it's doing absolutely fine. It's popped out bigger growth and with loads of pink on it, so very, very happy with that. Oh my god, yes! Okay, sorry. Exciting. So let me pull this out. So, oh, it's getting sun stressed as well. So my obovata that I was acclimating from my root greenhouse, I think, it lost all of its roots and I had to cut it back. If any of you are over on my Patreon, you'll have seen that in the acclimation video. It lost everything, and it's actually lost several leaves, I think 2 or 3 since I've had it, which is very unfortunate. But look, it's growing a little root. So I've just put it in water. For a while I had it in moss, and the old root system just died completely. It just wasn't working. So I put it in water, chopped the bottom rotted bit off, and now it's rooting, which makes me so happy. I really didn't want to lose this plant. But it's like quite close to my grow light at the top, so you can see it's getting a little bit sun stressed, which I'm not mad at, to be honest. I don't know, as long as it's growing well. But it's just in a cup of water, sitting right at the top up there. What else is going on? So I think my Anthurium crystallinum magnificum has got a new leaf coming out, which is super exciting. I'm not going to pull it out. And then my dubia, which I swear was going to die, has a single sprout. Oh my god, okay, I'm going to pull this one out. Do you see that? Like, I swear this leaf was going to die, and it's not dead. Oh my god, I'm actually really, really chuffed about this. I should probably work on trying to get this on a pole somewhat soon, otherwise it's just going to go runnery, which we don't want. Also, sorry if you can hear Cleo bathing herself. She's had her run around and now it's bath time. But yes, very, 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 very exciting. And then my Philodendron Splendid is also putting out decent sized growth. It's really weird because it's like, it started out medium-sized leaf, getting a little bit smaller, reached the top of the pole, bigger leaf, and then this one looks like it's going to be a bigger leaf as well. So I'm like, I mean, I need to put it on a taller pole or extend this or something because it needs that. I did just order some new poles from a couple of places, so I'll be probably doing a mass pole sort of thing soon. But look at this leaf. You can see the sort of red background of the leaf coming from the verrucosum side of the Splendid. But it is just stunning. You can see how close it actually looks to the Melanochrysum, which is the other parent of it. The sort of front of the leaves look very similar. I think the Splendid definitely looks like it's verrucosum on one side and Melanochrysum on the other. It's so very much so that, which is, I find it really interesting and I really like it, and so hopefully it continues to grow well. But I think that's like the main thing for the cabinet. I did decide to put my Regal in pon. It had been in moss for a while and had grown loads of really nice roots, so put it in pon, and now I can like properly fertilize it a little bit. But hopefully it grows new leaf soon. I don't know if it will as we're going into like winter now, but hopefully it likes that in its little self-watering pot. But yeah, it's just nice and full in here and bright, and I'm really, really liking it. So yeah, looks so pretty. The bedroom is a bit of a mess at the minute because we're redoing our wardrobe, so like all of our clothes are just on the floor here, which is not ideal, but it's making it harder to get to these plants over here. To be honest, nothing that exciting is going on with these. They're growing a little bit slower than before. Not entirely sure why that is, probably because like it's cooling down. But my white princess there, you can see that last leaf is a good chunk smaller than the one before it and less variegated. I'm not sure why, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. It is still a happy plant. It's probably going to take a little bit of a break for winter time. I did also recently cut my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. You can see it kind of stops just before the end of the pole now, but before it was going up to like there or so. So I chopped that up, and I'm going to bring some of those as cuttings to the swap, which is, oh my god, in like a couple weeks now. Insane. It's coming up so quickly. I can't believe how fast it's coming, but this has grown insanely this year. I'm very, very, very happy with its growth, and I can't believe it's like already almost at the top again. I am loving, loving, loving this corner right now. I feel like it's got a little bit of everything, a lot of really, really, really stunning plants. I've got my Glorious here, which is doing so well. You can see there's a new leaf coming out. This one is getting a little bit sun-stressed, going a little bit yellow, so I might need to find a different place for that, or like raise this grow light. I've got my Monstera Constellation back there, which is doing well, but it did just lose a leaf this morning. Actually, I took it off. I can put a picture in of that. It's just because it's autumn and things are growing a little bit slower now, and it's pushing off old growth to focus on newer growth and keeping the like more mature leaves happy. My skeleton key is over here now on a pole. I actually put it on a pole in my acclimation video for Patreon, and it's doing fine so far. I think it did lose its growth there. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of blends in with the moss, but it did lose its growth, unfortunately. It should be fine though. Epiphragmum tend to grow back really quickly, but I love these leaves so much. So much. Got an anthurium here. Perfectly happy. Nothing that exciting. And then my Cissus Discolor is actually doing freaking phenomenally here. I was a bit worried because I took it out of the cabinet. But oh my goodness, look at those leaves. And I think it looks beautiful there. And I'm just using that sisal wrapped pole, and it's absolutely loving climbing up a bit. And I think it's liking the grow light, and overall it's just a very, very happy plant there, which is very, very, very exciting for me. Down here, I still can't believe how much my, whatchamacallit, Stephania has grown. Sorry, this is very, very bad lighting. But I can't believe how much this Stephania has grown. It has grown so, so much. And it doesn't even look like it's got signs of dying out yet, which is great, I guess. So I don't know when / if I'm gonna have to chop it, but I probably will at some point because it is just kind of hanging down there, which might not be the best thing for it. I don't think I've actually ever taken you all inside this box. So I put some small pond plants in this in the end of July before I went away on holiday because I wanted them to have a water reservoir that like stayed nice and moist while I was gone. And I just decided to keep things in here because it works really, really, really well. I've just got a grow light above it and things are growing super nicely. So I've got another silver blush in here, my begonia ice, Scindapsus silver hero, Hoya Matilde, some other Hoyas down there that I'm still not sure if they've got flat mites, but I don't think so. Got a red secret alocasia and just some other like small sort of things. Ooh, I've got a new leaf there on this alocasia. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a new leaf there. So yeah, I really like this box. I don't open it probably nearly enough. I probably should open it every 2 or 3 days just to make sure that the plants are still getting airflow, because when it's closed they don't really get any airflow, which isn't ideal. And so you can see I have like lost some bits of this begonia leaf because of that, but it's fine. They'll live. And yeah, I think I'm gonna take a couple things out of here soon. Probably the begonia needs to come out soon because it's too big, and this anthurium's getting big as well. So I'll probably be potting those up in slightly bigger pots elsewhere and figuring that out soon. But I'm just gonna keep cycling things in and out of this because it works really well. And I've honestly not even refilled the water at all since I've had it. I probably should now because it's getting quite low. You can see the water level. It's about less than a centimeter at the minute. So I might fill it up so it's about 2 centimeters high because that's what they like. And they tend to do really well like this. And I'm actually really, really happy with how this box has worked, and I'm planning on keeping it because I think it works really, really well for my sort of mini pond plants because they dry out so freaking fast if they're not in self-watering, and I can't keep on top of them nearly enough. So this is a good option for something like that. These shelves are doing all right. I'm honestly not happy with how my gloriosum is growing right now. It did just put out this leaf, which is about the same size as the biggest. I suppose it's not hardened off yet, so it could get a little bit bigger, but I definitely think it could be growing a little bit better. It's not the best. I don't think this is the best place for it. This spot when the grow light isn't on is basically no light, so it's just not ideal. I think, so very exciting, I am going to be getting a new IKEA cabinet. I'm getting a Rudsta cabinet, and I think I'm going to use that for sort of big humidity liking plants. So I might move this one back into a cabinet situation once I have that. I don't know exactly when I'm going to set that up, but I have bought it already, so it'll be when it will be. But I don't know, I don't think it goes here very well, to be honest. And like this area is really messy all the time anyway, so I should probably put it somewhere that's a little bit more ideal for it. I am still unsure if I want to keep my exotica here. It's just, it looks really top heavy at the top because it's got such a big pot, and it is a heavy pot. So it just looks really, really top heavy there, which is kind of unfortunate. But I don't know, it's kind of the only place it fits right now with such long vines. They're so freaking long. And I do like the vines going around the mirror. I think that does look really good. So I think it's just gonna stay here for the time being. Nothing that exciting is going on up here other than that I have 1000% killed this calathea. I just saw it getting worse and worse, and I didn't do anything about it, which is really bad of me. I feel like a bit of a bad plant parent for that, but I just didn't love it that much. I think the only calathea that has my heart is the ornata, and I have one of those now, so this one's probably going to end up going in the bin. Oops. I'm falling out of love with my Adansonii. It's like fine, but at the same time, I don't know, I think I'm just a bit bored with it, and I wouldn't mind getting rid of it, so I might end up selling it, who knows. My pink princess, its growth has definitely slowed down as well. Also, sorry, everything's really dusty because we had to sand the cabinet. So like, look how dusty that leaf is. Do you see that? It's mental. But I need to bring basically all the plants in this room into the shower and wipe them off because we were sanding in the wardrobe and it got dusty. So yeah, but my pink princess growth has slowed down significantly, and this leaf has put out absolutely no variegation. This bit on the side is not pink, it is burn or something. So yeah, I think it just knows it's winter and it knows that it's not going to be getting as much as it could for a little bit. So it's probably pulling back a bit, but I am just so thrilled with how big and beautiful it is that I can't complain. So the office is really dark right now. I should probably undo the blinds, but I am loving how my shelves are looking. I'm so happy with them. I think they look really beautiful. And as you can see, Claire has come and collected her cabinet, so I have a little bit more room, and I will be putting a new cabinet in here very soon. Like I said, getting the Resta. Luke was just come in while I've been editing this exact video, so yay, very excited. I will be doing like a proper setup of it soon, so keep an eye out for that. I am so excited. Here's my Rasta, yay! I really like this space now. I think I've never really had a good place to show off small plants, and so I'm actually quite liking that I can keep a lot of smaller things in here. I know they will all grow out of the space, but for now, they're just gonna be here and be pretty. But some updates, my little peperomia that I planted up in soil is doing so well. Oh my goodness, I am so freaking pleased with this plant. It is, like, look at that little leaf. It's so shiny. So that's exciting. And then I had those little props in my prop thing of some other peperomia, but those leaves have definitely like doubled in size since I put it in here. You can see it's in a little pot, but then in like a mousse tin. That sounds really weird, but like in a little like mousse cup, because it needed a cash pot and I didn't have one small enough at the time. Up here, Claire actually just gave me a Peperomia Hope, which I'm super excited about. I have it in moss at the minute, and I've never had one of these before. I'm hoping that it grows well. She said she grows it kind of like a Hoya, which it does have very Hoya-y kind of wax plant vibes, which I really like, so I'm hoping it grows well. Oh, can you see that? The Burlemarks Fantasy back there. Look at the new leaf on it. It's so much bigger than the previous leaf. Oh my goodness. I think it's gonna absolutely love the pole life and hopefully grow so much bigger, like quite quickly as well. So very pleased with that. Oh, you can see the humidity in here. Oh, can you see the humidity in here? There you go. Sorry, it's a bit dusty. God, everything is so dusty. Should really dust everything more. But you can see it is 67% humidity, which is really good for a lot of sort of tropical houseplants that I have in here. They're all gonna be loving this humidity, and I think they genuinely are. This new leaf on my Paraiso Verde, you can't really see, so you're not gonna. But yeah, those are all like the sort of small plants. These down there, those are recovering from thrips. I should probably put them slightly further away from my other plants, but it's fine for now. And my prop boxes are doing well down there as well. I should show one of the best things that's going on right now. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. It is my snake scale, which I got from Root Greenhouse, and I was so scared that I was going to kill it, but oh my god, look, it's got new growth. Ah, I'm so freaking excited. So I just have it kind of like standing vertically in moss, and if you go under these leaves, you can see that there's roots coming out of like each of these little points. So you can see it is very happy. Look at them. So I am really excited to see how it goes. I did get a plank for it. I asked Claire if I could steal a plank from her, so I'm hoping eventually I can mount it on there and it can continue climbing up. So hopefully it really likes that. If anyone has any advice for snake scale, I would absolutely love it. This one is definitely going to be going into the cabinet, the new cabinet, because it's going to need it, but I will mount it on there. Should I put sphagnum down first or just let it mount to the wood? That's kind of my main question. But it's a gorgeous piece of wood. I absolutely love it. So, I don't know. I have to do more research on it, but I am obsessed with this plant. I think it is so cool. Probably one of the coolest plants in my collection, because I've never ever had anything like this. And it's so beautiful. And y'all know how much I love Scindapsus, so I love it so much. So it's just sitting like that. So it's getting used to being vertical. Again, I did that so the new leaf wouldn't pop out and like hit the top of the little box there. But yeah, oh my god, I'm obsessed. On the top, oh god, this is really yellow comparatively. I'll try and adjust it in post, but my bigger plants up there are doing the absolute most, being super jungly and very happy. Kind of nothing that exciting or new up there. That's my new branchifolia leaf, which, oh my god, watching that come out was so interesting because it's got so many little like side bits. It looks like a mummy unfurling. Oh my goodness, I've just seen this. Look at that. Oh, I really hope that doesn't rip. So that is on my forgetty eye, white stripe. Got a new leaf in there. I might get a damp Q-tip and help it, which I know I shouldn't do, but I'd rather help it a little bit than get it stuck and rip. But yeah, very exciting. There we go. I helped it. Sorry, everybody. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did, so. Over here, I have my big, large form Monstera, which I'm still waiting on a pole so I can repot it, put it on a pole, hopefully get it growing nice and big and beautiful. These plants, I'm actually really happy with. I had been treating them for thrips, I think, for at least a couple months now, and I've been doing it pretty regularly with Provanto, and they are thrip free, which is super exciting. I need to like bring them back and put them within my collection again, so I'll hopefully be doing that very soon. My spider mite plants, on the other hand, are still suffering with spider mites, which is so freaking annoying. And also, like this one, I really don't think it's liking its new spot, so I might need to start over with the silver band and chop and prop it, which isn't ideal. I think it was just a bit too big of a pot. I took a risk by putting it in there when I did, and I don't think it paid off, so I will restart that. But Marantas are pretty good at restarting. But I have seen spider mites on these plants last week. I had kind of gone really lax on treating them because I thought the spider mites had gone, but I think I didn't wash them with alcohol for a week or two, and the spider mites came right back. Like, it just goes to show that you need to be treating your plants pretty much weekly for pests, if you have pests, so you can kill everything in the life cycle and make sure that you're getting everything. I do have a few more that are actually currently in the bathroom. The ones that were the worst with it, I kept in there, but as it is Monday, I will be washing these again, and I will be doing that every week for the next foreseeable, so probably 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer, until I am absolutely seeing no more spider mites for probably at least a month I'll need. So yeah, this was gonna be a bit of a pain and stressful, and I was really hoping to get these plants back into my collection sooner rather than later, but it just doesn't seem like that's gonna happen anytime soon, which is kind of unfortunate. This is where I moved my giant crystallinum. It was just getting too big for the space before, and it's not perfect in here because I don't see it tons and tons and tons, but I still love it. So it looks like there's a bit of inflorescence coming in. You can see the darker red one there coming off of the stem. That's going to be inflorescence, which I probably will cut off just because I don't need the plant focusing on that now that it's going into winter. The bright red one might be a new leaf coming in. If it is, that is super duper exciting, but I am not holding my breath. It did put out this leaf. Gosh, zoom out. Did put out this leaf, which is huge, pretty recently, so I don't need it to come out with a new one very soon. My banana plant is actually doing so well right now. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so freaking pleased with it. This is its newest leaf, and it is so much bigger than the previous ones, and it's got another new one on the way, so I am just absolutely thrilled with how well it's growing. It's actually starting to finally fill out the pot again a little bit more. And these little babies down here are freaking adorable. So I'm really happy with this one. And I think it's really happy with me at the minute as well, which is awesome. So that is it. That is everything that's going on in my collection at the minute. I feel like I've still got a surprising amount of stuff going on. A lot of new growth still. Especially now that we're technically in autumn and like going towards winter and colder, shorter days and less sun and all of that. So I think things are going pretty well. I mean, it helps that I have grow lights and my home, it stays pretty even throughout the year. I mean, you don't have to have grow lights. There's nothing saying you need grow lights. It's totally okay if you don't use them. I really like how they make my home look, honestly, and I use them instead of the big lights because I don't like big lights. They're just not for me. So yeah, I think things are going pretty well. Obviously there's still those little bits of pest issues, but for the most part I'm really happy with everything that's going on. So yeah, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!